Definitions. Player. Any person playing badminton. Match. The basic contest in badminton between opposing sides, each of one or two players. Singles. A match where there is one player on each of the opposing sides. Doubles. A match where there are two players on each of the opposing sides. Serving side. The side having the right to serve. Receiving side. The side opposing the serving side. Rally. A sequence of one or more strokes starting with the service until the shuttle ceases to be in play. Stroke. A movement of the player's racket with an intention to hit the shuttle. Law number 1. Court and court equipment. The court shall be a rectangle marked out with lines 40 mm wide as shown in diagram A. The lines marking out the court shall be easily distinguishable and preferably be colored white or yellow. All the lines shall form part of the area which they define. The post shall be 1.55 meters in height from the surface of the court and shall remain vertical when the net is strained as provided in the law 1.1. The post shall be placed on the double side lines as in diagram A, irrespective of whether singles or doubles is been played. The post or its supports shall not extend into the court beyond the sidelines. The net shall be made up of fine cord of dark color and even thickness with a mesh of not less than 15 millimeters and not more than 20 millimeters. The net shall be 760 millimeters in depth and at least 6.1 meters wide. The top of the net shall be edged with a 75 millimeters white tape doubled over a cord or cable running through the tape. This tape shall rest upon the cord or cable. The cord or cable shall be stretched firmly flush with the top of the posts. The top of the net from the surface of the court shall be 1.524 meters at the center of the court and 1.55 meters over the sidelines for doubles. There shall be no gaps between the ends of the net and the posts. If necessary, the full depth of the net at the ends shall be tied up to the posts. Law number 2. Shuttle. The shuttle shall be made up of natural and or synthetic materials. From whatever material the shuttle is made, the flight characteristics generally shall be similar to those produced by a natural feathered shuttle with a cork base covered by a thin layer of leather. 2.2 Feathered shuttle. The shuttle shall have 16 feathers fixed in the base. The feathers shall have a uniform length between 62 millimeters to 70 millimeters when measured from the tip to the top of the base. The tips of the feathers shall lie on a circle with a diameter from 58 millimeters to 68 millimeters. The feathers shall be fastened firmly with a thread or other suitable material. The base shall be 25 millimeters to 28 millimeters in diameter and rounded on the bottom. The shuttle shall weigh from 4.74 grams to 5.50 grams. Two point three Non-feathered shuttle. The skirt or simulation of feathers in synthetic materials shall replace natural feathers. The base shall be described in Law 2.2.5. Measurements and weight shall be as in Laws 2.2.2, 2.2.3 and 2.2.6. However, because of the difference in the specific gravity and other properties of synthetic materials in comparison with feathers, a variation up to 10% shall be acceptable. Subject to there being no variation in general design, speed and the flight of the shuttle, modifications in above specifications may be made with the approval of the member association concerned. In places where atmospheric conditions due to either altitude or climate make the standard shuttle unsuitable. Law number 3. Testing a shuttle for speed. 3.1 To test the shuttle, a player shall use a full underhand stroke which makes contact with the shuttle over the back boundary line. The shuttle shall be hit at an upward angle and in a direction parallel to the sidelines. Three point two. A shuttle of correct speed will land not less than 530 millimeters and not more than 990 millimeters short of the other back boundary line as in diagram B. Law number 4. Racket. The racket shall be a frame not exceeding 680 millimeters in overall length and 230 millimeters in overall width, consisting of the main parts described in laws 4.1.1 to 4.1.5 as illustrated in diagram C. The handle is the part of the racket intended to be gripped by a player. The stringed area is a part of the racket with which it is intended that a player hits the shuttle. The head bounds the stringed area. The shaft connects the handle to the head, subject to law 4.1.5. The throat, if present, connects the shaft to the head. 4.2. The stringed area. The stringed area shall be flat and consist of a pattern of crossed strings either alternately interlaced or bonded where they cross. The stringed area shall not exceed 280 millimeters in overall length and 220 millimeters in overall width. However, the strings may extend into an area which otherwise would be the throat, provided that the width of the extended stringed area does not exceed 35 millimeters. The overall length of the stringed area does not then exceed 330 millimeters. 4.3. The racket. The racket shall be free of attached objects and protrusions, other than those used solely and specifically to limit or prevent wear and tear or vibration, or to distribute weight, or to secure the handle by the cord to the player's hand, and which are reasonable in size and placement for such purposes. The racket shall be free of any device that makes it possible for a player to change materially the shape of the racket. Law number 5. Equipment and compliance. Five point one. Compliance. The Badminton World Federation shall rule on any question of whether any racket, shuttle, or equipment or any prototype used in the playing of badminton complies with the specifications. Such ruling may be undertaken on the Federation's initiative or on application by any party with a bona fide interest, including any player, technical official, equipment manufacturer, or member association or member thereof. Law number 6. Toss. Before play commences, a toss shall be conducted, and the side winning the toss shall exercise the choice in either Law 611 or 612. 611. To serve or receive first. 612. To start play at one end of the court or the other. 6.2. The side losing the toss shall then exercise the remaining choice. Law number 7. Scoring system. Seven point one. A match shall consist of the best of 3 games, unless otherwise arranged. 7.2. A game shall be won by the side which first scores 21 points, except as provided in Law 7.4 and 7.5. 7.3. The side winning a rally shall add a point to its score. A side shall win a rally if the opposing side commits a fault or the shuttle ceases to be in play because it touches the surface of the court inside the opponent's court. 7.4. If the score becomes 20 all, the side which gains a 2-point lead first shall win that game. 7.5. If the score becomes 29 all, the side scoring the 30th point shall win that game. 7.6. The side winning a game shall serve first in the next game. Law number 8. Change of ends. Players shall change ends at the end of the first game, at the end of the second game if there is to be a third game. In the third game, when a side first scores 11 points, if the ends are not changed as indicated in Law 8.1, it shall be done so as soon as the mistake is discovered and when the shuttle is not in play. The existing score shall stand. Law number 9. Service. 9.1. In a correct service. 9.1.1. Neither side shall cause undue delay to the delivery of service once the server and the receiver are ready for service. 9.1.2. On completion of the backward movement of the server's racket head, any delay in the start of the service, refer law number 9.2, shall be considered to be an undue delay. 9.1.3. The server and the receiver shall stand within diagonally opposite service courts, refer diagram A, without touching the boundary lines of these service courts. 9.1.4. Some part of both feet of the server and the receiver shall remain in contact with the surface of the court in a stationary position from the start of the service, refer law number 9.2, until the service is delivered, refer law number 9.3. 9.1.5. The server's racket shall initially hit the base of the shuttle. Law number 10. Singles. 10.1. Serving and receiving courts. 10.1.1. The players shall serve from and receive in the respective right service courts when the server has not scored or has scored an even number of points in that game. 10.1.2. The players shall serve from and receive in the respective left service courts when the server has scored an odd number of points in that game. 10.2. Order of play and position on court. 10.2.1. In a rally, the shuttle may be hit by the server and the receiver alternately from any position on that player's side of the net until the shuttle ceases to be in play. 10.3. Scoring and serving. 10.3.1 If the server wins a rally, the server shall score a point. The server shall then serve again from the alternate service court. 10.3.2 If the receiver wins a rally, the receiver shall score a point. The receiver shall then become the new server. Law number 11. Doubles. Serving and receiving courts. A player of the serving side shall serve from the right service court when the serving side has not scored or has scored an even number of points in that game. A player of the serving side shall serve from the left service court when the serving side has scored an odd number of points in that game. The player of the serving side who served last shall stay in the same service court from where he served last. The reverse pattern shall apply to the receiver's partner. The player of the receiving side standing in a diagonally opposite service court to the server shall be the receiver. The players shall not change their respective service courts until they win a point when their side is serving. Service in any turn of serving shall be delivered from the service court corresponding to the serving side's score except as provided in Law 12. (11.2) Order of play and position on court. After the service is returned in a rally, the shuttle may be hit by either player of the serving side and either player of the receiving side alternately from any position on that player's side of the net until the shuttle ceases to be in play. Refer to law number 15. 11.3 Scoring and Serving. If the serving side wins a rally, follow law number 7.3. The serving side shall score a point. The server shall then serve again from alternate service court. If the receiving side wins a rally, follow Law 7.3. The receiving side shall score a point. The receiving side shall then become the new serving side. (11.4) Sequence of serving. In any game, the right to serve shall pass consecutively from the initial server who started the game from the right service court to the partner of the initial receiver to the partner of the initial server to the initial server and so on to the initial server and so on. 11.5 No player shall serve or receive out of turn or receive two consecutive services in the same game, except as provided in Law 12. 11.6 Either player of the winning side may serve first in the next game, and either player of the losing side may receive first in the next game. Law number 12 Service Court Errors. A service court error has been made when a player has served or received out of turn or has served or received from the wrong service court. If a service court error is discovered, the error shall be corrected and existing score shall stand. Law number 13 False. It shall be a fault. 13.1 If a service is not correct, refer to law number 9.1. 13.2 If in service, the shuttle. 13.2.1 The shuttle is caught on the net and remains suspended on its top. 13.2.2 The shuttle, after passing over the net, is caught in the net, or 13.2.3 The shuttle is hit by the receiver's partner. 13.3 If in play, the shuttle. 13.3.1 The shuttle lands outside the boundaries of the court, that is, not on or within the boundary lines. 13.3.2 The shuttle fails to pass over the net. 13.3.3 The shuttle touches the ceiling or side walls. 13.3.4 The shuttle touches the person or dress of a player. 13.3.5 The shuttle touches any other object or person outside the court. 13.3.6 The shuttle is caught and held on the racket and then slung during the execution of a stroke. 13.3.7 The shuttle is hit twice in succession by the same player. However, a shuttle hitting the head and the stringed area of the racket in one stroke shall not be a fault. 13.3.8 The shuttle is hit by a player and the player's partner successively, or 13.3.9 Shuttle touches a player's racket and does not travel towards the opponent's court. 13.4 If in play, a player. 13.4.1 A player touches the net or its supports with racket, person, or dress. 13.4.2 A player invades an opponent's court over the net with racket or person, except that the striker may follow the shuttle over the net with the racket in the course of a stroke after the initial point of contact with the shuttle is on the striker side of the net. 13.4.3 Player invades an opponent's court under the net with racket or person such that an opponent is obstructed or distracted, or 13.4.4 Player obstructs an opponent, that is, prevents an opponent from making a legal stroke where the shuttle is followed over the net. 13.4.5 Player deliberately distracts an opponent by any action such as shouting or making gestures. 13.5 If a player is guilty of flagrant, repeated, or persistent offences under Law 16. Law number 14. Let's. Let shall be called by the umpire or by a player if there is no umpire to halt play. It shall be a let if the server serves before the receiver is ready. During service, the server and the receiver are both faulted. After the service is returned, the shuttle is caught on the net and remains suspended on top. after passing over the net is caught in the net. During play, the shuttle disintegrates and the base completely separates from the rest of the shuttle. In the opinion of the umpire, play is disrupted or a player of the opposing side is distracted by a coach. A line judge is unsighted and the umpire is unable to make decision. Any unforeseen or accidental situation has occurred. When a late occurs, play since the last service shall not count and the player who has served last shall serve again. Law number 15. Shuttle not in play. A shuttle is not in play when it strikes the net or post and starts to fall towards the surface of the court on the striker's side of the net. It hits the surface of the court or a fault or a let has occurred. Law number 16. Continuous play, misconduct and penalties. 16.1. Play shall be continuous from the first service until the match is concluded, except as allowed in laws 16.2 and 16.3. 16.2 Intervals. 16.2.1 Not exceeding 60 seconds during each game when the leading score reaches 11 points and 16.2.2 Not exceeding 120 seconds between the first and second game and between the second and third game shall be allowed in all matches. 16.3 Suspension of play. 16.3.1 When necessitated by circumstances not within the control of players, the umpire may suspend play for such a period as umpire may consider necessary. 16.3.2 Under special circumstances, the referee may instruct the umpire to suspend play. 16.3.3 If play is suspended, the existing score shall stand, the play shall be resumed from that point. 16.4 Delay in play. 16.4.1 Under no circumstances shall play be delayed to enable a player to recover strength or wind or to receive advice. 16.4.2 The umpire shall be the sole judge of any delay in play. 16.5 Advice and leaving the court. 16.5.1 Only when the shuttle is not in play, refer law number 15, shall a player be permitted to receive advice during a match. 16.5.2 No player shall leave the court during a match without umpire's permission, except during the intervals as described in Law 16.2. 16.6 A player shall not deliberately cause delay in or suspension of play. 16.7 A player shall not deliberately modify or damage the shuttle in order to change its speed or its flight. 16.8 A player shall not behave in an offensive or inappropriate manner, or player shall not be guilty of any misconduct not otherwise covered by the laws of badminton. 16.7 Administration of breach. 16.7.1 The umpire shall administer any breach of law under 16.4.1, 16.5.2 or 16.6 by (16.7.1.1) issuing a warning to the offending side, or (16.7.1.2) faulting the offending side if previously warned, or 16.7.1.3 faulting the offending side in cases of flagrant offense or breach of law. 16.2 16.7.2 On faulting a side, refer law number 16.7.1.2 or 16.7.1.3. The umpire shall report the offending side immediately to the referee, who shall have the power to disqualify the offending side from the match. Law number 17. Officials and appeals. The referee shall be in overall charge of the tournament or championship or championships of which a match forms part. The umpire, where appointed, shall be in charge of the match, the court, and its immediate surrounds. The umpire shall report to the referee. The service judge shall call service faults made by the server should they occur. Refer to Law 9.1.2 to 9.1.9. A line judge shall indicate whether a shuttle landed in or out on the line or lines assigned. An official's decision shall be final on all points of fact for which that official is responsible, except that if in the opinion of the umpire it is beyond reasonable doubt that a line judge has clearly made a wrong call, the umpire shall overrule the decision of a line judge. An instant review system is in operation. The system in operation shall decide on any line call challenge. Refer to BWF Statutes section 4.1.8. (17.6) An umpire shall uphold and enforce the laws of badminton and especially call fault or alert should they occur. An umpire shall give a decision on any appeal regarding a point of dispute if made before the next service is delivered. An umpire shall ensure players and spectators are kept informed of the progress of the match.
So the score, say sufficient. 1-0.
An umpire shall appoint or replace line judges or a service judge in consultation with the referee. An umpire shall, where another technical official is not appointed, arrange for the official's duties to be carried out. An umpire shall, where an appointed official is unsighted, carry out that official's duties or play alert. Umpire shall record and report to the referee all matters relating to Law 16 and an umpire shall refer to the referee all unsatisfied appeals on questions of law only. Such appeals must be made before the next service is delivered, or if at the end of the match before the side that appeals has left the court.